With the home team, Mississippi Farm Bureau. Steve Jent is the executive director of the Sanderson Farms Championship. We had actually communicated prior to the news of yesterday and talked about getting together and talking a little bit about what was going on during the summer as we get closer and closer to the start of the Sanderson Farms, which will be here before we know it. But the news of yesterday kind of maybe caused us to press fast forward just a little bit. Steve, I know, like most of the rest of the world, outside of a handful of people, you were kind of caught by surprise yesterday with the news of the, I guess, merger is what we're calling it. What was your reaction?
Yeah, I mean, I heard about it right. I think when everybody else did. I was walking into an appointment and had not checked email a little bit to see that I'd gotten a press release from the PGA Tour at about 2 minutes till 9, and when my phone just starts lighting up and where my appointment was, I just could not get a signal. So it took me about 30 minutes to 45 minutes to actually kind of figure it all out.
Yeah.
And I was just as amazed as everybody else was. Followed really don't have any other insider information. They kept this pretty close to the vest, and have been following the news like everybody else on Golf Channel and all the social media outlets. So I don't know much else other than what we're being told is that this is an initial framework. I'm not an M&A expert by any means, but I guess it's an initial framework agreement. All these details of what they started announced yesterday are going to be filled in. I think it's an agreement for now, all the tours to work collaboratively. The lawsuits have been dropped. The details of how this really impacts the game and players and everything are still to be revealed. So yeah, we're doing the things that we can control 4 months out from the Sanderson Farms Championship. So
yeah, and I guess that's uncertainty has in some ways kind of become a way of life for you with this golf tournament in Mississippi. I made a joke, and I need to emphasize that this is a joke because it doesn't sound like a great characterization, but it's something that we've heard for our entire lives. The professional golf tournament in Mississippi has some cockroach qualities to it. Like, it will not go away. This golf tournament has lived through different time slots, different weather patterns, and it is more stable and solid, and it's better than it's ever been, which has to give you some peace of mind when you go to sleep at night that, like, hey, we've done everything we can do, and the players love the tournament, and we can't wait to get to October.
Yeah, I mean, I might prefer like the Survivor or the 9.
Yeah, I know. Cockroach probably isn't the right way.
Better,
I get it.
But yeah, no, and this started long before I got here 10 years ago. I mean, obviously with Robert Morgan when he started this down in Hattiesburg in '68, and the boards and the people that preceded me, year after year, the different title sponsors and keeping this thing going all these years. I mean, now we're probably one of the longest running events on the tour.
Yeah.
Forget this is our 56th year. And, it's an outdoor sport. You're always going to have weather issues. You're going to have sponsorship issues, times of the year, things you just can't control. But, yeah, I mean, I think we have done all the right things here, in the more recent time frame to set ourselves up to be a very well-respected, popular stop for the players on the PGA Tour. I was talking to somebody today. They love the golf course. They love the hospitality. I mean, what we forget about here in the central Mississippi, Jackson area is we have, a lot of phenomenal restaurants for them. We've got great hotels. So I think we've just done the things to do to keep enduring. And now the guys they love coming back every year.
Yeah, you used better words, survivor and enduring. Those are far better. So
yeah, I like that a little bit better, yeah.
I will amend going forward.
Amend the marketing brochure for me, thank you.
Yeah, that's a good plan. One of the things that has been most important for you guys at the Sanderson Farms Championship, and I think in a lot of the communities, maybe less in some of the huge tournaments, but certainly in some of the middle-size and smaller-size tournaments, has been the connection to charity. And the PGA Tour has always loved to promote how much they have given back to the cities in which they've competed. Do you get the impression, even though we're very, very early in this process, that component of professional golf in the United States will stay in place?
I do, because I think it's because of the organizations like ours, like Century Club charities across the country, and the communities that put these events on, and the volunteers in our communities. I don't think that changes. I think at times, like yesterday's announcement, things get focused, becoming to talked about the emotion about things, and you start to kind of lose focus on what's important. But I think because of the Century Club charities and the salesmanship clubs in Dallas and the Copperheads down in Tampa, I think the folks on the ground that work really hard to make sure that our charities and our communities are impacted, I don't think that changes at all. Week in, week out, we are having a PGA Tour event to impact our charity. The players that come, is the from the PGA Tour that are allowed to be here or qualified to be here. That's the in between the ropes product that the PGA Tour brings us. Everything outside the ropes, everything that we do around it, the events, the hospitality, the pro-ams, all that is what we can control and work on and deliver a great product. With the hope that the community benefits from it, from restaurants and hotels and rental cars, right? And that our charities like Friends of Children's Hospital and the Children's of Mississippi and First Tee and Stew Pot, that they all benefit from us, just working our tail ends off to throw a good event.
So, Steve, we're watching the PGA a couple of weeks ago, and we get the Michael Block story, and in the immediate aftermath, the Charles Schwab, they call him and they say, hey, we want to give you a sponsor's exemption. And does he have one this week at RBC? I can't remember if he's got one this week also. When you are a tournament director and you see a story like that, but your event is still 4 months away,
yeah.
Do you have to, tie your hand to the desk and be like, no, you need to wait and let this play out a little bit. Don't be a prisoner of the moment?
Yeah, I think you do. I think, hey, listen, Michael Toth, the tournament director at Colonial, and Charles Schwab made a great call. One of the Pearson Cootie said, hey, I'm going to focus on the Korn Ferry Tour. I want to give you a spot back. It was the right call to say, hey, I've got to open up. Let's have Michael come over here to Fort Worth and play. That was totally the right thing to do for their tournament, their community. I think, being 4 months out, you're right. We don't know yet who's going to qualify for the playoffs, with the fall being, so much focused on guys keeping their cards, earning a living, all that kind of stuff, that we have to look at. Yeah, I think you just kind of go, hey, everybody, Michael's a great story. He's been here before. I think he won the National PGA Championship, which allows him to play in 6 PGA Tour events. I think the last time Michael was here was 2014 or 15. In fact, we got a lot of mentions 2 weeks ago as his lowest score in a PGA Tour event, or lowest place, was here at the Sanderson Farms Championship when the last year he was here. So, I think you kind of have to wait and see how things play out. And Michael would probably tell you that same thing. Hey, he's been on a fun ride here, but he knows kind of that this is a great time, and we'll see how far it takes him. But we'll look at things down the road and see how it all plays out.
All right, Steve, couple of minutes left. What's happening right now in terms of getting ready, and how can people be planning in advance?
Yeah, we're in the middle of trying to figure out all our sponsorship sales. You get to a point where in about 6 weeks, I've got to tell the company that builds our tents, this is what you load on a truck. So we're trying to finalize all of our agreements with sponsors, if they want a skybox, if they want a chalet, if they want a pro-am team. We've opened volunteer registration. We're about to open ticket sales here in mid-July. So it's really kind of finalizing everything to get ready for those last 2 months. So I always feel like when school gets out, everybody kind of flees the area for a while, go on vacation, and we're trying to get answers. So the next 6 weeks will actually still be pretty hectic for us. Everybody says, hey, how can we help? My best answer I have is, hey, if you want to help me impact charity, best thing you do is buy something. Whether it's it gets down to a daily ticket, but we have pro-am teams who've got hospitality. Everything's on the website, SandersonFarmsChampionship.com. We are 4 months out, but a lot of times it feels like 4 days. So we're getting ready to get ready. Let's put it that way.
4 months can certainly go by in a hurry. Steve, always good to catch up. We'll talk to you certainly probably a couple of times between now and the start of the tournament, and look forward to being there with you.